So good.
Lancaster!
Welcome, goodies.
That's you.
I'm Jason Mundock, and this is So Good Lancaster. Lancaster County's very own Conestoga River is Pennsylvania's River of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
The River of the Year Award honors a Pennsylvania waterway, raising awareness and recognizing conservation achievements by those who care for these awesome resources. It's administered by the Pennsylvania Organization for Watersheds and Rivers and the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And this year, the winner is the Conestoga. So who are the primary stewards of this Lancaster County waterway? The Conestoga River Club.
The Conestoga River Club is the name of the organization, and the CRC has been in existence for about 5-6 years. Todd Roy is the name of the man who founded it.
That's Malinda Harnish Clatterbuck. She's the executive director of the CRC.
Our river tells our story. It tells your story, it tells my story, it tells stories of people of the past, and it will continue. It's different every time you enter it.
The Conestoga River has a dirty past. According to Malinda, a fifth of the river was considered polluted during the middle part of the 20th century, not that long ago. But over time, stewards of the river focused on cleaning and conserving the water. The Conestoga River Club is now the primary organization taking on that responsibility, and their love for the river is paying off. Winning River of the Year comes with a $15,000 grant to increase programming around the river that will only lead to more education and more awareness about the benefits of maintaining this Lancaster County natural resource. DCNR Secretary Cindy Adams Dunn said of the award, "This once polluted river is an example of what can happen when we prioritize clean, healthy waterways. Its transformation has made the Conestoga a hub for outdoor recreation, providing a boost to the region and demonstrating that rivers build thriving communities." Today on the program, we're talking about the Conestoga River with Conestoga River Club Executive Director Malinda Harnish Clatterbuck and Club Board Member Steve Carlson. So Good Lancaster is powered by the Candy Factory, also known as TCF, a co-working and social club in downtown Lancaster, Pennsylvania. ClubTCF.com.
Check it out.
It's time. This is So Good.
So good.
So Good Lancaster.
Let's talk about the Conestoga River Club.
Yeah.
Describe it for me. Tell me what it is, what you do, and what impact it makes on the community.
Yeah, the Conestoga River Club is small.
This is Malinda.
I'm Malinda Harnish Clatterbuck. I am the executive director of the Conestoga River Club. I was hired 5 months ago, and before I was hired, there was only one paid staff member, and that was the former executive director and founder, Todd Roy. There is a board of 10 people now. It was all but one male. Before I came, we've brought on 2 more women to the board, which we're really excited about. Hope to keep moving in that direction. All of the people who are involved at the board level or paid staff love the river. They have a passion for being in and on water. They have this relationship with the water in our local community and the Conestoga particularly that I think drives us to volunteer our time and our space. But for the organization itself, the purpose of the org as the managers of the Conestoga Water Trail is to focus on a certain number of things. They're guiding principles for all water trails. The guiding principles for water trails are things like conservation, education, stewardship, wellness and well-being, community building.
Okay, so before we go any further, let me clarify that the water trail is the river itself, a designated recreational route that has a managing entity overseeing it. It's not a trail that runs alongside the river. All right, cool. Now, back to Malinda.
So any water trail manager, like the CRC, are supposed to focus on those things when they create programming and in their relationship to the community and what they do with the water itself.
Talk to me a little bit about the programming that the CRC does.
Yeah, in the past, we have focused a lot on recreation, so getting people out on the river on kayaks, and trash cleanup. They're the 2 things that we've done a lot of. One of the things I'm excited about, coming in with new leadership, new ideas, I bring a background of education, and I am also a counselor on the side, so I want to be able to capitalize what we do, capitalize on the reality that being out in the natural world is a healing balm. And I'm hoping and planning, actually, I have some already dates set where I'll be getting into the school system, SDOL, and talking with young people about the importance of having a relationship with the natural world. and then getting them out on the water. We just got a grant to get 10 more kayaks to increase our fleet. We have 10 kayaks now.
Yeah.
I just got a grant to get 10 more, and we're getting youth-size kayaks so we can focus our programming around young people.
Talk to me about the size of the participation around this. A lot of community folks come out and volunteer.
Cleanups are usually really well attended.
This is Steve.
I'm Steve Carlson. I'm a member of the Conestoga River Club board. And the wide range of ages of people who are out cleaning along the roads that are adjacent to the river or going into the river with boats and pulling things out, dumpsters, tires, refrigerators, things like that. And to say that they're pulling those things out, I mean, as you float down the river, you do occasionally see things. It's not like garbage everywhere, but there are things that need to be tidied up, and there's, always a plastic bag or a water bottle or something like that.
I can say in the past 6 years, the Conestoga River Club has removed 67 tons of trash out of the Conestoga River.
Wow.
So maybe it is everywhere. It sounds like a lot.
It's more than you think. Yeah.
Most people, when they're paddling down, will collect the styrofoam and the bottles and things as you can. The garbage, there's an occasional garbage can that goes down that I see, and some of those things. It's a little tougher as a solo person. As I go mostly solo, it's tough to pull that stuff out, but it's there.
It's interesting.
And also Lakshmana works really well with us in providing dumpsters, and they don't always charge what they should because they know we're doing it for the community. It's not like we're personally getting rid of our stuff. So we have a really good relationship with Lakshmana and appreciate that because that makes it easier for us.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. There's one other piece I think is really, really important. Stroud Water has come out with some studies recently that say one of the most important variables for the health of a waterway is whether it has a 35-foot tree buffer on either side of it. That tree buffer, riparian buffer, is one of the most important things to increasing the health of the water itself. And so we just partnered with the Pennsylvania IPL, Interfaith Power and Light, and over the next 3 years, we will be receiving for free 5,000 trees to plant in the Lancaster area for the sole purpose of increasing the health of the watershed. And we have a map that's called the Tree Equity Map that shows areas where tree canopy is lacking.
I see.
And we'll be planting trees to do that. So we have lots of moving parts that we're doing. We're not just on the water, but we're trying to also be involved in what's going on in the watershed and how can we help increase the health of that will increase the health of the water itself.
And I think, developing that awareness around the riparian buffer zone and its importance to the health of the river, just that educational piece, I think will be really important to people. The space where we live, I've planted tree upon tree upon tree, and it will, kind of block the river from the house, but I think that the health of the river is much more important than my view. Mm-hmm. And yesterday I went from Perelman Park in Manheim Township to the house. And so, you have these massive homes, which are beautiful, all in Manheim Township. And there is a certain aesthetic to each of the properties there. And I'm not in the business of telling anybody how to landscape their lawn, but the awareness piece, and then people can decide on their own.
Sure.
You also move through on that stretch the country club, mm-hmm. which in an effort to enhance the experience of the golfer has cut down hundreds of trees along the river. And I love that flow. It's just, it could be treed more. There are some beautiful stretches, and I just wrote something about it. And to be fair, it's a beautiful stretch, and there are plenty of tree-lined bits upon it. But when you go through a stretch like that, you can see that there's a lot of work to be done in the riparian zone, especially.
Mm-hmm.
If you have workplace flexibility and can work from anywhere, you probably know how lonely it can get working all day, every day in the same building where you sleep, i.e. your house. TCF Co-working and Social Club in Lancaster is the solution. Get out of the house, work around other humans in real life, and get social with a ton of clubs, activities, and events. TCF offers community, full-time, and private office memberships and day passes if you're just passing through town. Check out clubtcf.com, book a tour, and get plugged in. Let's talk about winning River of the Year. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Congratulations to the Conestoga River.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to those who care for it.
Yeah.
What was that process like? What does that mean to be River of the Year in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's like a popularity contest, to tell you the truth. You have to nominate the river and put the nomination into DCNR. And what they do is they decide, I don't know the deciding criteria, but they come up with 3 to 5 rivers throughout the state that will be on a ballot. If you get on the ballot, then all you try to do is get as many people as possible to vote for your river. And there were 3 rivers on the ballot this year. I think the Conestoga River was on the ballot 2 or 3 years ago and didn't get it. And so then after the ballot, the voting period opens, and it's just a popularity contest, as many people to vote as you can. And one thing that we did differently this year is we worked with Clean Water Partners, with Alliance for the Chesapeake, with the Conservancy, and other organizations around here, and said, can you help advertise? Can you help us get people to vote for it? The river is our river. It's everybody here. And that's when we started. Our river tells our story. It tells your story. It tells my story. It tells stories of people of the past, and it will continue. Kind of like what Steve was saying, it's different every time you enter it. Anyone who lives along the river, it tells a part of our story. So, how can we, as a community, rally around and get it? And I think we were 200 votes ahead of the other river, so it was close. Yeah, a close call.
Well, and I think the timing was right too, because I think that some people were looking to dedicate this win to Ad Crable, who I didn't personally know, but who I know was a champion of the river and had a lot of connections within the environmental and the outdoors person community.
The late Ad Crable, who passed away in August of 2025, was a highly respected journalist here in Lancaster County. His career spanned 4 decades and included over 1,600 environmentally conscious outdoor trails columns for L&P, our local newspaper. The Conestoga River Club dedicated this 2026 Pennsylvania River of the Year victory to his memory.
It felt right for that reason, too. It's an opportunity to kind of, honor him and to talk about some of the contributions that he made to this community.
When you are honored with the designation of River of the Year, like we have been, there is an amount of money from DCNR, from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, that comes with that, about $15,000 for programming. And I am using some of that money to create a series of programs that are different than what we've done in the past. I have a river arts series of programming. We have Dorothy Jo Fry, who is an artist who teaches at Millersville, is doing Painting by the River in September as a part of this series. Eric Anderson, a writing professor at F&M, is doing water writing by the river in June. And I'm working with a number of local photographers to help me judge a photography contest that we'll be advertising soon. We'll have a youth and also an adult categories. And I'm going to have people submit a digital copy as well as a hard copy, and then I'll frame those copies. And at the end of the summer, we're working on having our first Conestoga River Days, first annual Conestoga River Days event, where we will be auctioning those photographs off as a fundraiser for the organization, but also to honor those who have taken the time to submit photographs. Yeah.
That's awesome. So Conestoga River Days is a direct benefit of winning this award?
Absolutely, yeah. I probably would have tried to make it happen anyway, because I have a vision for getting people in community around the water doing things. And we're also collaborating with a lot of other organizations. We have Emily Browich with Alliance for the Chesapeake coming in to do part of our Fun Facts Floats. She's going to talk about birding on the river. And there's a guy, Adam Zern, who does Uncharted Lancaster. He's going to come and talk about history on the river. And Kate Austin, who works at the city, is going to come and talk a little bit about what the city's doing to help decrease pollution that runs off from the city into the river itself. So these programs are, again, to help get people in the community who have forgotten that the river's there or don't really pay attention to it to the river, and to help them realize the importance of the river for the health of our community here in Lancaster City.
I think the River of the Year is a good opportunity for programming and for awareness to get some people out onto the river and to understand what the mission and what some of the activities that the CRC is doing in order to get ultimately people out there and therefore take care of it better.
The other thing that's exciting is every River of the Year has to have a poster, River of the Year poster, that Secretary Dunn at DCNR likes to get framed and put up on her wall. And so we're in the process of working with a graphic designer who is creating our Conestoga River of the Year 2026 poster. It'll be available to folks, but there'll only be so many, out there. So it's like it's a commemorative thing.
Yeah.
I think you might want to go out there and get your poster when they're ready.
Are you looking for the perfect space for your next meeting, media project, or private event? Well, TCF has you covered. Our conference rooms are perfect for meetings with your team or your clients. Our media studio can accommodate photography, audio, and video production. And our 6th floor venue has everything you need to throw an unforgettable private party or retreat. Book now at lancastervenue.com and take your next event to the next level.
We do have 870 emails that I'm now sending a newsletter out to on a monthly basis. And that's the way we'll communicate with people. And hopefully, as people hear about it or share it with friends, that will grow. And in that newsletter, we'll be talking about the health of the river, about information, education, and also programming. The last page will be like programs coming up. But it's a way for us to communicate with the community.
Yeah.
And I think it's an exciting time to become involved with this CRC. I mean, with Malinda coming on, there have been, her focus has been very holistic in developing partnerships in their community and seeing where people's priorities are and see how they align with ours. Just her presence and having her awareness in so many different areas that have to do with the river. There are a lot of exciting different directions that we can go. Not that we can do them all at one time, just based on hours in the day, but with the River of the Year and with Malinda joining the organization, I think that there are a lot of awesome places that it can go here in the future.
Malinda, let's talk about why you're involved. What drew you to this organization?
I didn't know anybody involved in the CRC before I saw the posting for the position that was open. I have been an environmental activist for a long time. I started a nonprofit with my husband, and we led people through nonviolent direct action events for a number of years and really focused on the nonviolence part of it. So in the recent past, I've been involved in the environmental world, even though it's not what I've studied in school. I think part of it is why I want to get children in the water is because what my relationship to the natural world started when I was a kid. I grew up in the house I live in now along the Tuckahoe Creek that flows through our property, and I was in the creek all the time. I pulled the clay off the banks and made, dishes and things with the clay and set it in the sun to dry. And I feel like I didn't have a great childhood, and being in the water was what gave me hope. Even as a young kid, it's what gave me hope. And when I saw this position was open and I started reading about what the CRC does, I thought, well, this uses my skill set, and I can make a difference in our community, and I can make a difference in our watershed. And I've been a land steward for years with the Conservancy. I was on the board of the Lower Susquehanna Riverkeeper Association recently for a couple of years. And so it's a part of what I do. It's part of my lifestyle is to be involved in my community in the ways in which we can preserve, be good stewards, educate people around all of that. How can we protect land? I have a preserved 80 acres as well through the Lancaster Farmland Trust that I inherited when my father died down in the southern end. And he instilled in me the need to preserve Lancaster. And we started an organization, or my parents did, and I was a part of it when I was a kid, called people for the preservation of Mardyck Township. I live in Mardyck Township. So when I was 12 years old, I was going door to door saying, don't let that golf club come in or golf course come in, like trying to protect things.
Yeah.
So like it's part of who I am and what I've always done. And when I saw the position open, I thought, well, here's a way I can use my experience as an adult professionally for an organization that needs it and do the type of work I like to be doing.
Steve, you're on the river a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe more than anyone?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true, but I'm on the river a lot.
What draws you to the river?
There are so many things that draw me to the river. One, it's a different experience every time. And I know it's cliche, like you never step in the same river twice, but it's true. So every time, whether it's the weather, the season, night or day, it's always different, and there's always something really special to see. Yesterday I saw a fox. I don't see many foxes, so I saw a fox. 2 days ago it was really windy. There were waves. I don't see many waves. I could go back every day and tell you something new or different. Just some really special experiences on the river, both just me being in that space, or the wildlife is providing something, or the trees, or one of my regrets this spring was that I missed what I call like the spring fire bloom, the first bloom when there's starting to be volume on the trees, and you can just catch it. It's one day, and I missed it this year, and I'm a little sad at that because it's really special to see. The trees are just these razor thin branches kind of going up, and then all of a sudden there's volume.
Yeah.
And things like that. It's just really captured me, and it's changed my perspective on a lot of different things. Social organization of our society. Why can't we all live on the river? Which is a question that I kind of deal with a lot, and I feel like it's underutilized. I think that there are people who get it, and those are people with fishing rods. There are people sitting by the river at County Park, people walking their dogs, people praying, people doing all sorts of stuff on the river. But there's more space for people to share it.
How much river is there in Lancaster County that is appropriate for recreation? Like, are we talking miles and miles and miles of river? I know it winds quite a bit.
The Conestoga River starts in Morgantown, which is in Berks County, but it's a very small amount. I don't even know, is it less than a mile? Like just the tributaries start there. But it's 62 miles from there all the way to the Susquehanna River. And 32 and a half miles is what we consider the water trail, which is the most navigable with a paddle boat.
Got it.
Yeah.
And those 32 miles are I would say rated beginner.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few bumps here and there where there's like a cascade, and those are usually around mill sites, former mill sites, where they maybe took down a dam or something like that. So there's the residual rocks that are left. In low water, it's, you have to kind of choose your spot, but it's a pretty easy river. It's mostly afloat. I mean, people tube it, and
is most of the river shallow enough to walk across?
a lot of it is. I mean, it gets deep. It gets to be, 10, 15 feet deep. I mean, historically in the stretch that we live on is where, they had a series of dams, and they were running the paddle boat from Rocky Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some depth there to run a pretty sizable boat. But since all those dams are gone, it's, receded some. But at our house, we can walk across, when it's lower.
That brings up another point. One of the things the CRC is doing is trying to put in some paddlecraft launch sites.
Okay.
So people aren't just putting in along the bank and doing damage to the banks of the river. And we have an improvement plan that we paid a consultant to make about 5 years ago that suggests there could be 14 launch sites along this 32-and-a-half-mile stretch. And we just got news that the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission is going to give us $50,000 for our first boat launch site, which will be in County Park, called Reigert's Landing. It's like across the street from the Garden of the Five Senses, where that parking lot is. It's where people put in already, but we'll be putting in the first universally accessible boat launch.
Got it.
And we're applying to DCNR for the second $50,000 to pay for the whole launch. But then we're already starting. I just met with our project manager. We're starting to look to what we're going to do next. Is Windolph Landing one we're going to try and get in next? So then people can. It's the next one down. So if they put in at County Park, they can get out at Windolph Landing, and we'll have launch sites that protects the bank so people can get in and out easily. Yeah.
And I think that infrastructure is an important piece. I mean, if you are living close to the river and you want to get on the river and you have some experience, you're going to get on the river. I mean, you can pull your boat through the forest and whatnot. But in order to make it accessible, more accessible, I think this infrastructure is really important. And it will kind of create this water trail that is a proper water trail. You can advertise all these different put in and take out spots. There's proper signage and kiosks. It will be a proper recreational trail.
Thanks to Malinda and Steve from the Conestoga River Club for stopping by the So Good Media studio to chat about the club and the Pennsylvania River of the Year Award. Link up to the CRC in the show notes, and more importantly, get outside and enjoy the river however you can. Hey goodies, we do love hearing from you. Let us know what you think of today's episode, or if you have any fun ideas for upcoming shows. Head over to sogoodlancaster.com and submit your comments. Until we meet again, stay good, Lancaster. Stay good. So Good Lancaster is produced at So Good Media in Lancaster, Pennsylvania by yours truly and Ann Kirby. Follow us online at sogoodlancaster.com and follow us on all of the socials. Have any comments, questions, or want to learn more about how So Good Media can help you with your podcast and media productions? Drop us a line at hello@sogoodmedia.studio.